although they have each other, they know that outside help would cushion the blow. Any little bit would help these people get their life back to normal.
Our doors are going to close.
So I'm going to work and put my resources, products, bring in the Rolodex. We'll make it work. When Blue Ox reached out to Contractor Rescue, one of the problems that they talked about was their AR. They literally had 500,000 approaching 90 days. Some of it's probably over 90 days because they didn't even know when their last trade complete was. So they weren't actually aging their AR correctly, which is a big problem in the industry and one that I have a lot of experience in.
Hi, I'm Kevin Zaun with Blue Ox Exteriors. I applied to Contractor Rescue. Was really hoping to get some problems with our AR figured out. Just get some systems in place to be able to collect money a little bit quicker.
So when I showed up to Blue Ox Exteriors, first of all, we got lost trying to find our office. Hey, Ashley? Yeah, Anthony. I'm here, I think I'm in the right building.
Yeah, so Anthony comes in and I got all the sales guys ready for his meeting with us. I'm thinking this is a mess. This office is obviously overflowing. We're kind of outgrowing our space.
It was in the basement, down many hallways. And when we walked in, I think there's 2 or 3 dogs running this little cramped office, 6 or 7 sales guys on an old couch, 2 small office spaces. This was probably the size of my master bedroom. He needed some more space. Oh, these are some cramped quarters in here. Where's Kevin at?
Yeah, it was a little bit surprising. I was going through with some of my sales guys, kind of prepping them on our issues. I had Tyler in my office, and he had a large chunk of our AR outstanding, and I was telling him, hey, we need to get this collected. He wasn't having it. He was excited about the new storm, wanted to keep growing the business in an ongoing way of let's bring in more sales. And I'm thinking as a business owner, hey, we got $500,000 out. I have bills that need to be paid. We need to get this collected too.
So when I first walked into Blue Ox, you saw Ashley with the old back of the hand because she was extremely busy. So I remember the back of the hand look very well from back in the day when I ran between 10 offices and my sister was doing a CFO, accounting, production, master production. And I remember the back of the hand look quite a bit because she was too busy to talk to me or really too busy to do anything.
My biggest struggle would be getting the salesmen on the same page as us, and it just a lot of money issues was the main reason.
I need you making phone calls.
I don't have time for this. I got doors to knock. You figure it out.
We need to get some money collected.
Ooh, looks like I got here just in time. How's it going?
Good.
Then I get to Kevin's office, not too far away because the office is very small, and he's arguing with a sales guy. And I've seen that 100,000 times back in the day. The entitled salesperson not wanting to be held accountable, not wanting to collect their money, and here Kevin has a huge AR issue, and I'm already thinking final cap out hold's gonna have to go in effect in this office. Well, look, let's sit down, let's get some lunch, let's go over some of your issues, and let's see what we can put together for you with Contractor Rescue.
That sounds like a great idea.
Sometimes you gotta get away from your business to work on your business.
Hey everybody, Troy Clymer. If you're not familiar with Balance, we've been in business going on 6 years now. We are the largest third-party administrator, estimating, supplementing, and file administration firm for contractors via phone at 888-618-0367, or you can email us at success@balancedclaims.com.
Balance has been a blessing to us, really a true blessing.
We were looking for a solution that was scalable with our company in terms of supplementing, that Balance provided the time margin that we needed.
So right after me and Kevin got back from lunch, we had that heart-to-heart at the back of his truck. And this is really when I dig in and find out some information more about the entrepreneur, his pain points, his struggles, what's going on with his company, things that sometimes they don't really talk about over the phone or by email. And this is when I really realized what tools and resources in my Rolodex I need to bring to the table to help this company out. So Kevin, that was a little bit of whirlwind there.
Yep.
That sales guy, what's his name?
Tyler.
Tyler. You guys were talking about AR. Does he have a lot of AR over?
He's got a lot of AR out.
One of the reasons I came out here is you got, as I understand it, you have 500,000 approaching 90 days.
We just got to get these guys collected.
And you don't have a dedicated AR manager?
I don't have anybody.
What's that Ashley doing in there?
So Ashley's kind of looking at what is out there and sending it to the sales guys. However,
what else does she do?
Well, I got her doing production. She's lining that out, making phone calls, letting homeowners know when we're going to build. I got her plate pretty full. I think that she's kind of
estimates.
She's doing supplements, invoicing.
She's like you.
She's running the company when I'm not there.
Now, what happens if Ashley gets hit by a bus tomorrow?
Then I'm back to working 20-hour days.
You're probably working 20-hour days now.
Oh, yes.
Well, one of the things we talk about scaling, and look, you can't scale a company overnight. We're going to make a little chunk out of what we can while we're here.
Yep.
Most contractors have a problem in sales, operations, and production and collections. Sometimes a combination of all of them. And a lot of it has to do with not having the right procedures in each area. How do you hire a salesperson? How do you train them in? What's the accountability? Who's managing the salesperson? Who hands out the leads? How do I know if they converted the lead to a sale? Production, do I pre-cap jobs? How do I order the job? What's the procedure? Is there a pre-cap in place to know my profit margin down to a box of nails before I order the job? A lot of guys just wing it. Collections, when do I send the invoice? When do I release the COC? Who's running my AR? Is my sales guys picking up the check? You have a lot of similar problems that most contractors do. You're not alone.
Yep.
Do you have retainage in your contracts? Do you know what that is?
We don't have any retainage.
Okay.
A lot of times I tell customers, it's completed. You have to hold just a reasonable amount.
Right.
It'd be nice to have a set amount.
Well, we're gonna put a science to that, so it's not a guessing game. But going back to you as an individual now, you're licensed here. You got a licensed operation in Minnesota.
Yes, we do.
You got a brick and mortar in Minnesota.
We do.
We got one or two
We got
guys.
one
out there?
guy who's running sales full time there. We're trying to build that team up.
So so I'm sure it's bothering you can't be at that new storm.
It does drive me
Awesome.
nuts that you can't be in two spots.
You and I both know there's only one person that can go to a new storm market and create the forest fire, and that's the entrepreneur.
Yes.
You can't do it sitting here in Colorado. You also can't leave Colorado while you have AR issues, so you're stuck.
I am very stuck.
And you also got another satellite out in Nebraska, which
Yes,
also
we
got
do.
hit with storms. You got anybody staffed there?
We don't have anything going on there.
Right.
I kind of use as backup in case Colorado goes dry.
So what we got to do is we got to slow down. You can't just run out to Minnesota tomorrow as much as you want to. You can't do that because you got to get your foundation in order.
If I can have Colorado running 80% on its own, I don't have to spend as much time here. And that's what I'm hoping so I can scale this company.
Sales, operations, and collections. That's another 30 days here minimum.
Okay.
And taking what we're going to teach here the next couple days and the systems that we put together for sales, production, accounts receivable, you can get us systematized, not perfect, but systematized to some degree, so there's a process in place for your salespeople here. How are they training? How are they learning? So we're going to tackle that first because I believe revenue is almost the problem solver for most problems. I mean, if we get enough revenue in, we can start to solve other problems. Without revenue, we can't solve a lot of problems in business. So we're going to attack that AR. We're also going to touch on sales motivation and training to keep that new revenue coming in and get that old revenue coming in. And then after that, we're going to start talking about who's our next hire and who we're going to scale to start to alleviate some of the stress from Ashley, who's probably doing too many things,
She's
and
wearing a lot of
yourself.
hats.
And then getting people to do key functional things in functional areas so they're focused on AR or production or sales management and start to skill up the right people in those new systems that we put in place. That make sense?
I'm very excited to figure out how to do that.
Well, let's go in there and see what we can do.
Sounds awesome.
I knew right when I walked in their office that their first issue to grow was to get a bigger office. What's going on, guys? What's going on? So, man, I noticed you're a little crunched in that office yesterday.
It looks like a complete zoo in our office.
It's about 100 degrees in here.
It was a chaotic mess.
It's cramped, it's crowded, it's loud.
They didn't have an effective training room. They didn't have a place where the sales associates or managers could, coalesce and train and talk. They didn't have training, any kind of training materials.
This is awesome.
They are excellent in everything that they do, from the customer service, people that back them up, accuracy of the maps, the accessibility of the website and the apps. It's awesome.
There's a reason that when you see in Storm Ventures Group or some of the other private groups, when someone asks who they use for mapping or canvassing, 9 out of 10 people recommend Hail Trace, and there's a good reason for that.
So, man, I noticed you're a little crunched in that office yesterday.
That is pretty tight in there.
I took the liberty to get in touch with the leasing agent here to get you some extra space. Something I'm a big believer in is a war room.
Yeah?
Which is a place to orientate, train, and really get your salespeople and your team on track. Get them trained in. Welcome to your new war room.
This is awesome.
So what we got here is, just like I said, the Contractor Rescue package. You get the for everybody in your company, you get one user, not one user, but you got 10 users, right? 10 user access all year, so you get 24/7 access to training. We get all the traditional SVG product systems, phase 1, phase 2, production, accounts receivable, our estimating program, Quick Bid Pro, our insurance estimating program. We got our commercial sales training system. It's all branded up,
cool,
build contracts.
We're actually starting to take on some of our first commercial jobs.
Yeah, commercial contingencies, commercial service monitoring agreements, how to use a commercial inspection packet, all that stuff's in there. Contracts and forms and your entire HR management system. So that's 30, 40 grand of product systems branded up right now.
That is awesome.
Then we got the virtual reality goggles. So for your newer guys, they're not going to read anything anyways. Nobody reads anymore.
Yep.
They can put these on, start learning how to knock a door, how to
got a lot of guys pumped up to see these things.
Yeah. So Kevin, we also, in addition to the SVG products and services, we got you my Rolodex, man. The whole Rolodex. So we got service providers, shingle manufacturers, CRM companies, Roof Scope, Higgs Professional Consulting, just a whole profilage. We'll give you a whole list of people that committed to the Contractor Rescue package. A couple of these guys are going to stop by here in the next couple of days. We'll give you a list of all those folks that contributed to your deal. Total package about $250,000.
That is awesome.
Products, service, and consulting.
I'm excited. I think that this is going to help my sales team grow.
Excellent.
Take me to the next level.
The new war room is amazing.
So unbeknownst to Kevin and even Ashley, we had contacted their office leasing manager and actually negotiated, a 1-year lease and put together a war room. We call it the sales war room. We're salespeople, and I'll show you and key managers come in, have a place to eat, do meetings, train, and even for interviews. So someone could actually take you seriously. Because if you walked into Kevin's office for an interview for the first time, you're gonna be like, I don't know if I want to work for this guy. So.
With the new war room, it's gonna be great because they can go do their meetings and I can still focus on getting my work done without interruptions.
All right, guys. How we feeling?
Yeah.
How do you guys like the new war room? So when we walked into the sales room, we had new guys, old guys, had all the salespeople together. They looked more excited to be there. So let's start. We're gonna walk you on a tour through this. It's called the goal setting workshop. We're gonna start with how much money you want to make. We're gonna back it up into a monthly, weekly, and daily plan on how to get there and exactly what you need to be doing, because you are 1099, you are creating your own schedule every day. There's certain things you can do to get in the zone, create the zone, sign more deals, not sign more deals. That's gonna make you more successful in this business. Literally double or triple your sales just by managing your time and knowing what your goal is. So let's start there. Everybody with me? We had a PowerPoint up on the screen. We had the training on the screen. We were filling out a goal setting workshop. One of the things that leaders often fail to do in many industries is sit their people down, establish a goal by year end, especially in sales, a financial target, and then show them precisely what they need to do per month, per week, per day to reach that financial target. One of your 3 top economic goals, put number 3, has to be this. Number 3, I want to make blah, blah, blah by December 2019. It has to be your number 3. So I don't know all your commission rates, but I'll tell you in general, if you're on a 30 to 50 range, and $1 million in sales with Xactimate, which is what you guys use, insurance claims, you're gonna make at least a 30% profit margin. That's with some overhead allocation. 300 grand at 30, what's 30% of 300 grand? It's 90 grand. It's almost your number, right? Yeah. As we got into the training, sales training in Kevin's new war room, you could see the light bulbs go off in some of these guys' faces, because they are now getting access to industry-specific training that they didn't have before. So you see the math there? So if you sell $1 million in sales, you're gonna make 90,000 in sales commissions at minimum. Take $1 million and divide it by the average contract size, which is 15,000. $1 million divided by 15,000 is what? 33. 33 jobs, 33 residential jobs. That's how you turn, if you turn in 33 jobs by December, you're gonna make $100,000. Do you know what it takes to sell, build, collect 33 jobs, residential jobs? I'm gonna show you.
So as Anthony started training my sales team, I'm looking around a room of 10 sales guys that we've put together, 5 that have come back from last year, and about 3 or 4 new guys. And I start looking around the room, and everyone's got their full attention on Anthony. The new guys are engaged. Tyler, who's even upset with me, is engaged, and everyone's super excited at this moment. It was really cool to see.
What's the date today? June what? 6. June 6? We got 7 months. What's 33 divided by 7? 5 jobs a month. Doesn't sound that hard, does it, experienced guys? Everybody says they want to get rich. I want to make $100,000. But when they get down to the nitty gritty, what are they doing every week? They certainly ain't doing the activities that make you the money. I don't want to do that. I can't do that. I can't do this. Well, then you don't really want it bad enough. Because if you really wanted that dollar amount bad enough, you would do these activities. Because these activities aren't hard to do. And actually, they're fun to do once you get into it. So let's talk about those. One is put a sales meeting in place, Kevin. And it's a common problem in this industry, probably in many, where the owners assume salespeople and employees know as much as they do, or they spend a little bit of time training them, or they go drive around with John in the truck for 3 hours, and that's effectively their sales training. And that's just not enough, not in this industry. And when they get exposed to SVGU and we turn the virtual training on, and they realize they can plug in and learn A to Z on their own 24/7 on their own access, everything in this industry, boy, they got excited. Some people say, well, I sell every day. No, you don't. Not in the zone. You know what the zone is? It's me going like, hey man, why don't you come with me today? Kevin just got me a couple leads. Let's work side by side. When I'm on this house, you hit that house, because activity begets activity. I mean, if you're on that roof and I knock this door, the fact that Mrs. Smith sees you on that roof, she's gonna want me on her roof, because everyone wants to do what their neighbors do. The goal setting workshop seemed like it hit a button with the guys to get them real recalibrated for the spring and the storm season, and excited. Everybody except Tyler. How many guys in the room here, who's contributing to that over 60-day AR? Not that it's anybody's fault.
You know, just a couple of them at the ends of these tables over here. That guy.
Who's got the highest?
Tyler. My job to deal with the money.
That's not my job. I've heard that 100 times back in the day from top salespeople who also feel entitled. And immediately in my head, I'm thinking, boy, these guys need to get the AR mindset. That's what we called it back in the day, the AR mindset. And final cap out hold is going into effect in the next 24 hours for these salespeople. What's his AR over 60 days?
His is getting up there. He's about the majority of the problem. He's probably 240, 250 on this year.
Well, what we're going to do, guys, we're going to reset. AR is not a one-person issue. It's not an owner issue. It's not just a company issue or management issue. It's a collective team effort issue. Obviously, you guys get paid when the money comes in, correct? So I know you guys I know you want the money to come in faster. It'll come in faster if we work as a team. I call it the AR mindset, versus just saying it's his job or her job or the office manager's job. It has to be the entire company's job. AR starts at the kitchen table with your contract terms. What you're doing is you're triggering people to now start paying attention. It's time to get paid. And every time you send out an invoice, it should be with a phone call, which is why you need an in-house person. You can't just send an invoice to the mail. It's an invoice and a phone call. You send a COC to an insurance company, it's a COC send, and it's 4 phone calls. At 30 days, the second invoice goes out with stronger language. Okay? There is no third invoice. The third invoice is an invoice. It's sent certified mail. Again, ma'am, you owe this amount, $17,000. If you don't pay us in 5 days, 5 business days, an administrative lien will have to be filed on your property. And you just tell them, look, this is just a company policy, Mrs. Smith. We don't want to lien your house, but we need you to help us pick up the phone and call that mortgage company, call that insurance company, and get that depreciation release, and get that supplement approved, and get that frickin' mortgage company to bring some money. Because Mrs. Smith has a lot more power than you guys at making those things happen. Now, sales guys, some of you guys might not like this, but going forward, if you have a job, and we're not gonna retro back this back before, but if you have a job in the future now that goes over 45 days, now that you know the new rules, it's final cap out hold. It means you can't cap out any jobs until you help the company bring this job that's over 45 back to under 45. You're still gonna get paid. If you have 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs, sitting in collections over 45 days, cap out hold. It means you can't get those cap outs until you do what? Bring those jobs back under 45, means get them collected, then you come off cap out hold. Any questions?
Nobody's holding my money. You're not taking my money. I'm not playing this game anymore. This is a bunch of bullshit.
What are you talking about? Say it again.
Tyler,
45.
we're trying to help us as a company. We're just trying to get our AR under control. He's showing us a couple ideas. It's really not that big of a deal.
Does anybody else want to leave? Do you want to beat the ups and downs of the bell-shaped curve? Check out the SVGU virtual training platform. This is the most advanced, industry-specific training in the $100 billion roofing and storm restoration industry. SVGU is a subscription-based platform, priced at $79 to $199 per month based on the number of users you have. That's less than a couple of squares of shingles per month. That's less than the material tax on your last shingle roof replacement. And that's less than your sushi dinner and drinks last Saturday night. At those prices, how can you afford not to have the most advanced, industry-specific training at your fingertips 24/7? So get the demo and find out how to take your company to the next level with what hundreds of industry contractors just like you have nicknamed the ATM of the industry, otherwise known as SVGU. See you soon. I knew when I brought up the word final cap out hold that somebody was going to walk out of that room.
When Tyler started stomping out of there, it was based off of Anthony's suggestion of holding money. And to me as a business owner, this sounds great. But meanwhile, I got $1 million producer walking out the door.
I was really concerned that we were going to start losing salesmen.
Are you fucking kidding me? What? This training thing they got. Who the fuck is this Anthony guy?
As a business owner, you don't want a guy like this walking out, but we also need to solve this problem. And it was a lot to handle.
Well, and Kevin's all bickering at me because they are, like, it's my fault. Like, this guy's gonna come in here and fix all the problems around here. It's stupid. It's stupid. I'm over it. I'm so fed up. I don't even know why this guy is here. I gotta get out of here and take a walk.
When Tyler came in, it's just a typical thing. It happens a lot. All the sales guys kind of come in, and I'm kind of the office mom.
Come on, Dad.
Not while you're living under my roof. Be careful.
Thanks, Dad.
Find a roofer.
Roof looks great, Dad.
Of course. It's a Timberline.
Timberline, America's favorite roof.
One of my favorite things is sitting down with a new and experienced group of sales associates in the industry and exposing them to the SVGU virtual training platform. Because they haven't seen anything like that before. And now they realize they can access, industry-specific training, some of the most advanced training ever to be put together 24/7. So what do you guys know about virtual reality? These are designed so you can put these on. We're gonna bring, you're newer, right? Come on up. You're the guinea pig. You learn how to scout, how to knock a door, how to inspect a property, how to get back to the front door, get outside the front door, back at the kitchen table, sit down and ink the deal. You're gonna feel like it's me. You're gonna be next to me the whole time. In addition to the SVGU virtual training, you saw the look on some of those guys' faces when they tried on the SVGU VR goggles, which are a supplement to the SVGU training and a great training tool and recruiting tool to attract, retain, and train the new millennia. So put those on. You can fit over that hair.
Yeah.
That hair won't mess up. All right, you see yourself in the training room?
Yeah.
Now remember, put your finger in the right spot. And let's click on, not with your thumb, but your finger. There you go. Let's click on like door knocking. Those are different chapters you can go into. One of the great things about these SVGU VR goggles is you can actually train on a roof as if you're on a roof without being on a roof. Now let's learn how to inspect the roof. Let's go on the roof. Say look for roof and property inspection.
All right, guys, I'm on top of the roof. Shoot.
Now look around. Walk forward.
I think the goggles are going to be a huge improvement to our training.
Imagine you're about to go on a roof, right? And he's new, so he probably doesn't have game at the kitchen table anyways. So he hands the customer my goggles and tells them to click on the property owner. Look on a coffee table, there's a module for the property owner, see it? Mm-hmm. Now you're the property, you put the goggles on. While he's doing the inspection, I'm talking to the property owner for him, explaining the whole insurance claim process, why they should sign the deal with him.
You're watching this right now.
So now I'm talking to the homeowner for him. Telling through the whole how to file the claim, what they're looking for. I'm showing them hellheads on a roof, why it's going to negate their warranty. I'm selling the whole freaking deal for 15 minutes to the homeowner. We're the newest sales guy now. Take those goggles, give them to a homeowner so they're cool anyways. Like, what? They inspect the roof. By the time they get down, they're like, where do I sign? I sell the whole deal. After we finished up the sales training all day in the war room, I was actually excited to sit down with Ashley and introduce her to the AR system that was going to help her clean up that AR and really make her job more efficient and give her some more time management. All right, Kevin, Ashley. So one of the reasons you guys brought me in here, not to mention is, for the training products and all that for the salespeople, was you have an AR issue.
Yes, we do.
Which is common. Most contractors do around the country. Even the biggest companies have an accounts receivable problem. You guys last year had a pretty good year, close to 4 million during the storm. Now what you're feeling is a pinch because it's second year storm. Sales naturally slow down, but you tend to have some of the same overhead in place. You got trailing bills from last year. You're coming out of winter holiday months, so people slow down. And so now you got you have close to 500,000?
Yep.
In AR, the problem or red bell is a lot of it's approaching 90 days. Quite a bit of it's over 60.
Quite a bit of it.
Yes. A lot of it's over 90, and some of it you guys really don't know because you didn't track it from the last trade complete. We have to put a system in place here where you're tracking last trade complete. Well, we have to start with your build contracts. We got to get some terminology in your build contracts, a whole new set of build contracts.
Okay.
Where your sales associates start at the kitchen table, because AR starts at the kitchen table with a pre-start checklist so the customer knows what happens when I have punch out. How much money can I hold back? Not the whole check, like what you got here. So guys, we have to restructure your entire accounts receivable functional area step by step so that we put all these procedures in place.
You want to restructure it right now?
Today, yeah. I mean, the reason I came in, your biggest problem is you got money sitting out there that he needs, that your company needs to grow, to survive, to pay bills.
I don't know when I'm going to have time to learn a whole new system. Like, I'm already doing everything. Paying people, tracking orders, everything. Like, how do you expect me to do this? Just wondering.
I know. We need to start probably at the whiteboard. Maybe go in our new conference room, our war room over there, and start from the kitchen table to the contracts, to the invoice, to the procedures, how we call.
So just whole new system in general.
A whole new set of procedures to get that money collected.
When am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I have no time now the way it is, at all.
Well, we're just going to have to start putting some things on hold and kind of reinventing the wheel.
What though? What am I putting on hold?
The sooner.
What's more important right now?
Well, right now, money, cash flow. Cash flow
I'm
kills.
getting the cash flow in right now with what I'm doing.
You are, but you're also,
you want a whole new system?
I understand you're wearing a lot of hats. You know, you're doing accounts receivable, accounts payable, you're doing supplements.
Everything.
You're doing office management.
Right.
I get it. But we have to take a chunk. Like right now, the most important thing is cash flow. Cash flow kills. We got a great new group of sales folks here coming in. But we need money to buy business cards, T-shirts, leads, all that good stuff to keep the revenue center going.
I don't have time for this. Like, seriously, this is just too much. Like, I can't do anymore. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Without the right tools, bidding for a roof project can be time-consuming. This is why Scope Technologies created your end-to-end solution. Simply type the project address in at roofscope.com. In no time at all, you receive an easy-to-read report with all the measurements needed to bid on the project. Contact us for your free report today.
Look, you saw the altercation with Ashley. That's a typical reaction of someone who's wearing too many hats in the office, that's overworked, stressed out. She didn't want to hear about a new AR system.
Ashley's obviously overwhelmed. We did a lot of volume for last year with 1 or 2 people in the office, and next thing you know, she starts going through what I already have her doing, and I'm thinking to myself, this is a laundry list for her to do, and now we're adding more stuff to her plate, and next thing you know, she gets up, stomps out of there, and I'm going, what am I going to do if my office manager quits?
I've kind of been at that point for a while now where one more thing is kind of going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, and that just happened to be it at that particular moment. It just wasn't good timing, and I just was frustrated and done with it.
Look, it's a common problem. Whenever you go in, when I go into an office, start changing things around, people naturally rebel. It's going to have to get a little painful to restructure and do things right. Oftentimes when you introduce new product systems, new training, a new way of doing things to managers, they get a little unruffled. And that's why you saw her walk out. The one thing we need to do right now, the sales guys can wait. We can focus on the sales associates on the next visit.
Okay.
Right now we need to attack that money. Put a system in place where you don't have this problem again where accounts receivable is approaching 60 and 90 days.
Yep.
Once we put that system in, her job will actually become easier. You also need to think about when that money comes in and we have a little bit extra cash flow, it's time to make another hire.
Okay.
You know, a key hire to split up all these responsibilities. Because once you start splitting these up and then hiring someone where the accounts receivable department is run correctly or production is run correctly with a set of procedures, the business starts to smooth out. The process smooths out and flows better. And that's where we need to go. But we need to start, number one, revenue dictates everything, right?
Yep.
We need to bring money in.
Bringing that money in.
We got to bring money in. So what I'm going to put in place, we're not only going to put in place today, we're going to pick up the phone, start making some calls, and we're going to start getting accounts receivable in on those people that are holding up money from punch out, on those jobs that are being held up in supplements, on the money that's not being released from the insurance company or mortgage company fast enough. We're going to get that money coming in.
Sounds like a plan.
Let's go to work.
So after Ashley had walked out, I was able to catch up with her, just kind of settle her down a little bit, go through some of the things that we want to put in place and explain to her, after a week or two, this is going to start speeding up cash flow tremendously.
So I think that he's going to incorporate a lot of great things for us, and appreciate you coming back and taking a look at this.
How's it going? Good. You're back.
Yep. Like I said before, Kevin's a really good boss, and I do have it really good here. I work with a great group of guys, and, it's not fair for me to walk out halfway through a summer, and then if the storm does hit, where are they going to be? They're not going to have anybody to do this for them. It's not fair to them, so that's why I came back.
We got to use the new build contracts. Paper trade means you now have the right to collect after the roof when the roof's done. 5% retainage. When looking at your numbers today, 250, almost half of this number is due to punch out being held up. It's being held up by punch out. By having just 5% retainage for punch out in your contract, in your pre-start checklist, and on your invoice terms, she can hold 5% of $40,000. And you need to send somebody over tomorrow. We're gonna send somebody over to collect $28,000. She's gonna hold $2,000. So now let's go to last trade complete. Ashley, you're gonna start really watching what this day is. This is when your lead clock starts. So we have to start tracking this date in your CRM the best we can, because it's a very important date to start tracking our 90 or 120 days. I knew she was gonna come back, and when Kevin brought her back into the war room and we got on a whiteboard to show the new AR system, the bells started clicking for her. First invoice. This is something you're gonna really have to push. I call it the 7-day window. Your second invoice goes out 30 days. There is really no third invoice going out at 45 days. It's an invoice, but it's also a 5-day lien letter. So what this does, Mrs. Smith calls you, hey, Ashley, I can't believe you guys are threatening to lien on my property. Mrs. Smith, it's not a threat. It's an administrative process. It's company procedure. At 45 days, we have to send these out. We have to notify you. What I really need you to do, Mrs. Smith, is pick up that phone and call that mortgage company, call that insurance company, and help us get the money released faster. This is gonna help your job go easier, not harder. So it's a little painful to put this in practice. It could be, we have to get the salesman on board with this. Not ask them their permission, but tell them this is the way things are done. We're gonna tear this up over the next couple days, get this collected. We're gonna put this new system in place, and you're not gonna have AR problems anymore.
I was real hesitant when Anthony was going through the steps on the board. I really didn't have any faith in his process and really honestly didn't want to hear it. But then once he kind of got explaining it and knowing that the salesmen were also included in it, wasn't just me who has to change everything I'm doing, that it starts at the kitchen table, then I realized that, hey, this is probably going to help all of us get on the same page and really help things move along.
I think it's starting to set in and make some sense, and I'm really excited to put those processes in order and see if we can get it to work.
Now let's get some money collected. Booyah, baby. So later we brought in C3 Group, that's a local public adjuster, one of the largest in the region, Matt Behrens, and he committed some help and some resources as part of the Contractor Rescue package for Kevin. First of all, Matt, thanks for coming in, Contractor Rescue.
Happy to be here.
I know you guys donated the $3,000 consultation or fee for...
Yeah, next appraisal or public adjusting service you use out of us, we'll give you a $3,000 discount.
That's awesome.
We're saving you some money.
That's great, thank you.
Meeting Matt Behrens with C3 Group was awesome. This is a guy I see on Facebook all the time. He's handling large claims and moving money in a position for contractors. When they take the job on, they don't have to worry about supplementing. They don't have to worry about, is the money there? When C3 Group's done with these claims, that money's there. All the contractor has to do is build it and collect it.
Diving into some of his jobs here in a CRM database, quite a few are lingering jobs due to supplements. One of Kevin's problems is his guys are selling complicated trades, lots of trades, dragging out that AR cycle for accounts receivable. And some of those are complicated because of all the back and forth supplementing with the insurance company, which is dragging out the accounts receivable, which is an industry-wide problem. Or can we turn some of these claims over to a public adjuster, and can you help in that area?
Well, yeah, and sometimes it's difficult just waiting, right? But sometimes that's so much more worth it because all your supplements are done. You're turning over some of the more complex claims, the larger claims over, and you're actually having those settled before you ever bill.
When's an appropriate time to get the public adjuster involved? Because that's the tricky part.
Yeah.
The salesman sold the job. How does he bring you in on some of those complicated ones? We got like all these, this one, he's got all these windows.
Well, here's the deal. Call us right away. We're not going to tell you that we're going to get involved right away. We'll help you build that process out and that strategy to be able to go with, hey, who's the insurance company? Who's the adjuster? Let's walk through exactly what the steps of that process probably are going to be with that carrier. Maybe we get involved later down the road, but at least we can know exactly what the policy says, what's covered, what's not, how to estimate and things like that. We can give you a lot of different pointers.
Thanks for coming in.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it makes sense to take your 10% most complicated jobs that are chaotic and messy and turn them over to a public adjuster and let him handle them. You lose 10%, but your job's coming faster if you have the right public adjuster.
When Mike with Roof Scope showed up, I'm thinking to myself, this is going to open up a whole nother world of just measurement possibilities. He's teaming up with SVG. He's going to have QuickBid Pro.
I brought in Mikey D with Roof Scope.
Good to see you. Good to see you again.
Yes. Thank you. They handle all the aerial measurements.
That's right. So one of the biggest challenges that smaller contractors have is I've got all these different systems working, and how do they work together? So we're working together with QuickBid Pro so that we can automatically populate the aerial measurement component of the bid, the takeoff component of the bid.
And we want to make that salesperson look great with a speedy proposal, with a professional contract price, even a picture of that roof for that customer and a proposal, so that they know what they're getting. So one of the problems that we saw with Kevin was he was, not pre-capping his jobs, didn't know the profit of his jobs until after the job was built. His guys, especially his new guys, couldn't effectively write estimates. So let's go ahead and let's play around the platform here. It's defaulted at 10%. That's your overhead.
Yep.
Your commission rate now that you can change that to 40%, 50%.
Yeah, for some of the newer guys.
We paid 40%. It's defaulted at a markup of 35%. We can play around with that in the budget, but we're going to leave that. Here's your tax rate. So let's go ahead and your labor and material there. We've already taken the time today to enter that. Those are your labor and material costs for your office. There's your material. Now, once you load that, we've done that today, now any of one of your sales guys, even that new guy, what's his name, Mario?
Yes, Mario would even be able to.
He can now, at the click of the button, because your jobs are going to be priced, your proposals on your profit margin and your overhead allocation and your net margin versus a guessing at what you're going to make and exactimate.
I'm thinking to myself, this is awesome. I have brand new sales guys who don't even know how to bid a job. Between these two products, I can get this bid out. And even if we aren't bidding and we just have to put a quick roof measure together, I have the resources to do so. I'm super excited about that opportunity.
Right now it's about producing fast professional proposals. So if you click on your takeoff there, that's where Roof Scope comes in. Because right now we got to enter the specs of the roof in order to get all those proposals so that we can produce a roof proposal for any steep slope roofing system in America. We got 100 squares right there. Here in the near future with Roof Scope, we're going to be able to hit a button and then incorporate their roof spec.
That's right. It'll automatically populate, and one of the things it does for you is it eliminates the potential for you to turn 23 into 32 because you've typed it in wrong. And to help you get up to speed, we're going to give you $800 worth of Roof Scope aerial measurement reports on the house.
That's awesome. I really appreciate it.
You got it.
As a business owner, being able to know our profit margins right from the get-go, telling my sales guys, hey, on a low end, we want to be at 15% if we're really hungry for work, or 20 or 25. I can send them out into the field and know that they're going to be producing bids for me that are going to be profitable for our company the way I want it, and my phone's not going to ring during the process.
Contractors 6-function multi-pro tailgate. Available only on the next generation GMC Sierra.
So in that training with access to QuickBid Pro, which we brought in, not only Kevin, but even his greenest green guy, the guy that's delivered Domino's Pizza last week, can now write a bid for every roofing system in America at the click of the button.
I could take Mario, a person who just started, tell him to get up on the roof, punch in an address, we can get a roof scope, and boom, we have an estimate.
One of the reasons their AR was aging, approaching 90 days, because of their production cycle and their estimating and supplementing with the insurance companies. We brought Nathan in to help alleviate some of the production problems and really be as a resource for Kevin while he is waiting to staff up and scale up that production department, which he needs to bring AR money in so that he can hire more people, but he's not ready to hire that production manager yet. So we brought Nathan in to fill that void as an outsourced production service and to help him build jobs faster.
One of the biggest problems Blue Ox Exteriors had last year was me as a business owner, a little understaffed, keeping up with production, and I see Nathan Higgs with Higgs Consulting walk in. First thing he tells me is, we can handle all your production for you. I sit down with him, we start talking about the products that he offers, his price points, it all sounds great. I'm thinking to myself, this is a great way to scale my company.
So Anthony had said that you were interested in maybe scaling up to another office, but he said that you had some issues with maybe some trade work and maybe doing some roofs.
You know, last year was kind of a struggle, going from one job a week to 5 jobs every week to 10 or even 15 a week. I feel like I've just kind of taken on a bit too much. I was able to bring on an office person last year, which was a huge step for me. But what I'm looking at doing is possibly scaling up my Minnesota business. Colorado's running pretty good, but in order to do that, I need someone doing production.
Of course. So what I've done is I've created an outsourced solution for companies such as yourself. And what it does is it allows you to turn in a job within 72 hours of that. We have the work orders completed, and materials ordered with the supply house.
So if I start using you for my services, I guess my question would be, you know, we get the job to you, it takes 72 hours, you process it. What type of build time are we looking at?
We're right the day after the supply house drops it. So we're contingent on your supply house. So if your supply house can get it to you in 2 days, we're building it in 3.
Are we still calling our customers? Are you calling customers?
You're still going to call your customers because the last thing you want to do is confuse them with another telephone number to call back with. And so, you know, we give you a live calendar that shows when the delivery is going to happen. It notifies you that the delivery is going to happen within 3 days. And then it notifies you the night of that says, hey, material's delivering tomorrow, job's going to build this day, so that you can alert your customer.
Are you doing any siding?
We do siding, windows, paint, gutters, and roofs. Our website is developed for, you know, a contractor that doesn't really know what they're doing. So they're inexperienced salesmen. It steps them through on what they need to give us so that they can turn in a job properly. And it helps streamline your process to make it so that you can have the same information on every single job. And we have the ability for your salespeople to take photos on the roof and upload those automatically through the app that we created. And it makes it so that you guys can just do the whole inspection through our app and you get a copy of that. So you'll notice that you have a job turn-in here and an aerial measurement turn-in. We give a free aerial measurement to every one of our clients. It's got everything that we need, and you know, we found that the product that we use just seems to be a little bit better fit for what we're trying to do. So I'm going to give you, as part of the Contractor Rescue package, I'm going to give you a free 5 roofs, which is $1,000 value, to help get your business kind of back on track and in the right position.
That is awesome, because right now I really need it.
Yeah,
it's going to help me out a lot, free up a lot of time, and hopefully get me over to Minnesota to build that business.
That's the key.
Nathan, I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
was really excited the day of the shoot. People just kept showing up with some free stuff for Blue Ox Exteriors. It was amazing. We got C3 Group in-house, and they offered us a nice package for some claim help. Nathan Higgs came in, which could be a very good resource for us to be able to get some production help. And we even got some free roof measurement out of Roof Scope. On top of all sorts of stuff, we have a full access to the SVG University. We have help from Anthony. He trained my sales staff for about 3 hours straight. The guys were really excited. Today we actually went out and signed about 6 jobs.
You know, now that it's over, I'm really glad that we called Anthony and Anthony came. I really think that this is going to move us in a whole new direction, and that he helped us a ton, and we're where we need to be, and we're cruising in the right direction now.
What you saw when we got to Blue Ox was a company that didn't even know their accounts receivable balances. They didn't know how long past due some of it was, to really putting a measuring tool together and a system, starting with their contracts, forms, and documents they are, to the training, even to their salespeople, what I call the AR mindset. To have the right mindset from the salesperson at the kitchen table, to the office manager, to the owner, where everybody's preaching the same song and dance, so that the customer knows where the company stands, and AR is collected in a systematic fashion.
Yeah, hi, Mr. Smith. This is Kevin Zaun with Blue Ox Exteriors. Yeah, I was just giving you a call. I noticed that we haven't gotten any payment on your roofing other than the down payment yet. Well, we have a contract agreement that does say that we are supposed to do all the work, but we get paid as each trade is done. So what that means is that the roof was a separate project from the windows, and all we're asking for is you have a roof that's been done, it's been signed off by the city inspector. We want to collect in full on that because we know that you've been paid for it, and that'll allow us to keep your windows right on schedule. Yeah, we just need to collect that last payment of $8,700. Your sales rep is actually going to be in contact with you tonight, if that'd be great, and you guys can wrap that part up. No problems. If you have any other questions, Tyler will be able to help you out, and you guys can go through it there. But I do appreciate you taking this phone call and helping us get paid up on the roof.
Oftentimes we come out to the contractor and bring our resources and our Rolodex to help the contractor. We don't see the end result for a couple months. So I was excited to see Tyler, Ashley, and Kevin all making calls and flexing retainage, which is a new AR system we put in place for Kevin's company.
Yeah, Mr. Newman, that's just something that we send out just to remind you to make a payment. So could you do me a favor then and give your mortgage company a phone call and see if they can help you out with getting it released? Just let them know that we are pursuing a lien on your property and that we're going to need the payment. And if your mortgage company has any questions and they want to give me a call, they're more than welcome to do that. If you want to just give them the office number, I can definitely speak to them, help them with any issues that they might be having. All right, that sounds good, Mr. Newman. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Thank you, Contractor Rescue.
Hi, Georgia. This is Tyler from Blue Ox Exteriors. How you doing? Great. Good to hear from you. Hey, listen, I'm calling you about the invoice we sent you about a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Say, listen, yeah, we need to get that collected on. I know that there's some punch list stuff that you're questionable about in us getting out there to fix it. But we need to get paid on, let's see, it was initially $20,000. If you look at line item number 17 on our pre-start checklist that I gave you, you can keep $2,000 until we come out and fix it. Well, no, ma'am, you need to go back and take a look at line item number 17 on there. It does state, and you did initial it. Yes. Yep, you can hold the $2,000, but I need to collect the $18,000. Okay, perfect. I'll be there Monday, 10 o'clock. Thanks. I can't believe that worked.
Of course it worked. This is Contractor Rescue.
Thank you, Contractor Rescue. It was great having you guys here. You're really helping me turn my business around, and I can't wait to put these systems in place.
On the next Contractor Rescue, when Abby called from Atlas Roofing out of Denver, Colorado, I knew she was in trouble.
Our doors are going to close if you're not here.
I had no idea the level of personal hardship that Abby was going through.
I knew that, we had to come clean.
Let's tell him.
All right, you're done. You're done. So at this point, I'm calling Autumn. I'm getting a flight home.